Welcome, beloved awakened one. I'm Monica Bermudez, and this is the podcast of the Ascended Earth, the transfiguration of the new you, the new human. We are an ever-evolving human, learning, growing, expanding, and upgrading. What you are and always will be is a divine, cosmic galactic source from source, more than you can imagine. But not all of us are living to our fullest potential. It is time to embrace what you are and unlock your magical keys and spiritual gifts. This podcast is a transmission of energy codes meant to unlock other dormant DNAs to remember, reconnect, revive, and renew you to the new human, the avatar that you are. This is the transfiguration of the new you. Hello, beloved. I want to talk about dreams. One of my favorite subjects to talk about are dreams, and I actually love to hear other people's dreams, and I'm fascinated by all the symbolism behind the dreams. And most specifically, though, I want to address some of the interdimensional dreaming and astral travels that we do during our dreams. Now, I've often heard people say that they don't dream because they don't remember their dreams. So just know just because you don't remember your dream doesn't mean that you're not dreaming. And in all the cases, though, that we are into this sleep stage, into our dream, we are also astral traveling too. And we are going to these other interdimensional places. And I feel that in those dreams that I have like the most interesting dreams, that places that I don't even recognize, locations. They look like they're off planet, and I feel like they are some interdimensional other locations that I'm traveling through, also my astral body and so forth. And I also want to share like a technique in case that you are having problems remembering your dreams, and I want to share this technique with you later on in this episode. I've given many talks about dreams, and I've studied it in different forms. Another one that I've studied since I was little as well, for a very long time, fascinated by the subject of it and its own symbolism. And, the most popular ones that study like about psychology and all this was Carl Jung and Sigmund Freud. However, I feel that I resonate more with Carl Jung, and because he emphasized a lot of the collective unconsciousness. But what I really feel that it is is more of a quantum field energy, because we're all interconnected within this own field, and we also interconnect with our ancestors right there within the same field. So that is why sometimes we dream with our own family, someone who may have just passed away, and they appear to us in a dream. And we're all, interconnected because of, it also goes through like all these inner dimensions as well within that quantum field. So that is why we have certain dreams, where we see family members who may have passed away, or even friends, or connecting with certain ancestors, or even having like these premonition type dreams, which are like futuristic, prophetic type dreams. And so Carl Jung, also used a lot of the archetypes to associate some of the dreams. However, I feel like there's more than just these archetypes, and these are just, some of the information that I receive intuitively and psychically that I want to share as well with you. I feel, though, that in my past lives, in a lot of the ancient temples of ancient Egypt, I was some form of oracle. And during that time, they did have certain oracle, like priestess-like type figures in these temples who would be interpreters of dreams. And that was their specific role and their specific job. So when I started studying about this, I felt like I really resonated with it, with that position. And I feel that I bring some of that ability here in this lifetime as well, that has been reactivated. So whenever I hear a friend or even like with my clients who tell me about their dream, I'm able to receive messages that are intuitive and very psychic through my guides and through, other means that of these higher dimensions of information that are needed for interpretation for that person. However, the best interpretation is your own interpretation, right, of your own dream. So it is always important that you always maintain some form of journal with you to write down certain dreams that you receive during that time, if you're able to, as soon as you wake up, when it's still a bit fresh in your mind. And it's interesting because like when I was going through, actually when I went through my divorce, I had gone through this spiraling depression. And I remember so clearly that I had like the most intense, very crystal clear dreams. And they were very symbolical type dreams, and they were very healing. And dreams are also healing as well. And they're also activating a remembrance in us too, because you're tapping into this quantum field, which is also another way of looking at it through the Akashic records of your own soul. And so there is this form of remembrance, and through that, are some symbols that are, appearing. And in my dream, I had a lot of very crystal clear messages from the animal spirit guides. So I kept seeing a lot of different animals, some animals which I don't even recognize. And also like one of my abilities as a high priestess, Lemurian high priestess, is to connect with the animals of all kinds, creatures as well, that creatures I'm not even like so familiar with just yet, but they appear to me in a dream. But in this sense, though, they were in a way helping me reactivate and reawaken these aspects of me without even realizing it. And they also served as a lot of like deep symbolism to them. So I would spend time writing what I saw in a dream in detail, like every description. And then I would write down what I felt was an interpretation from this animal spirit guide. And in most of these cases, they would just stare at me, but they also look kind of cartoonish to me. And so it was kind of cute. And in some of those instances, I would dream a lot with like the snake, for example. The snake has a lot of symbolism of transformation. And I certainly was going through a lot of transformational stages, and also like in association to transfiguration. So there was a lot of that going on in my life. So it was so appropriate that the snake was showing up. But the snake's also associated to healing. So it was healing me in that way. And, just to share some examples of that, why, it's so important to like write these down. And sometimes, in that moment, I didn't really quite know exactly what the information was, but I still wrote down every detail that I got. So when I went back and reviewed my journal with having a different experience and different perception, I was able to actually decipher certain codes that were, appearing in a lot of these dreams. And so that is, where a lot of it, relies on is also like the journaling. The more that you journal, the more that it will also activate your remembrance of remembering your dreams as well. And lately, though, the dreams have been a bit more intense because of the planets, of several planets being in retrograde and going through this whole like ascension process of these different energy upgrades and portals, and solar flares and combination of so many things, right, that are causing an intensity of this collective consciousness and quantum field intensity. And so we are spending more time, I feel like, in our astral travels, because as we're also waking up more exhausted, and I feel that I have been waking up more exhausted, and I feel that I've been in some of these other areas of like battles of trying to help the collective, with some of the ascension and the awakening, because of all the stuff that is being stirred right now and causing a bit of a chaos of more fear and worry that is coming up because some people, or say most, are not so yet aware what's really going on. And so there's been too much of this fear propaganda going on certain medias. And so I feel like a lot of us have been also doing this, astral travel collectively. So if you are feeling exhausted, even when you wake up, it feels like you may have slept, for a while, but it still feels like you're super tired or exhausted. Chances are you were also on this astral travel journey as well, assisting, so many others through your astral body. And so when it comes to the dream world, of these interdimensional aspects of ourselves, that we are doing a lot of work when it comes to in these dream stages. And the dreams do tell us so much stuff, about our own subconscious as well. So things that we may have buried within the hidden patterns will also reappear themselves in different forms in dreams. And, for example, I knew somebody who would say that he would have this recurring dream of being chased by monsters. And so at that point, he would just, after I don't know, maybe the fifth or sixth dream, he decided that in that dream, he was just going to confront this monster. And he just turned around and gave the monster a hug, and it disappeared. So the point is that was a symbolism of some fear that he was running away from and not facing. And similar to me, I've had dreams like that as well, where I'm being chased by certain monsters. And some of it has stemmed from a lot of fear. In the moment that I'm able to just confront it or do some kind of act within that dream that would conquer it or defeat it, it would just stop altogether. So I will stop having those recurring dreams as well. So these are, just some of the examples of how, the dreams may appear, in different interpretations of them. Could be, the form of hidden patterns that are there. But it's also, in the dreams, we have the capacity even now during this ascension, because we're going to such quantum speed, that we're able to release a lot more in dreams than we would have, if we are, experiencing it, in this human life form, that would take, many years. So I would say the dreams are now serving to be this quantum releasing and quantum healing of certain karmic patterns as well. And also ancestral too, because of, our connections to our ancestors within this field also. So yeah, there's so much, to the dreams that are occurring right now that we are experiencing, and things have just accelerated. And I personally, have been waking up exhausted as well. So if you are too, just know that's normal, because we are doing so much in the dream world, into these interdimensional experiences and these other dimensions and astral locations that we end up going to in places. So we're doing a lot of astral travel as well. So just want to share a technique that to help enhance for you to remember more of your dream, if that is, what you desire. So before you go to sleep, just do as an auto-suggestion, right? A self-suggestion to yourself. So pretty much reprogramming yourself before you go to sleep. And you can say a form of this, or you can modify it to something that you feel that you connect more to saying. And just say to yourself, when I wake up in the morning, I will remember every detail of my dream. When I wake up in the morning, I will remember every detail of my dream. So you could say that 3 times. When I awaken in the morning, I will remember every detail of my dream. And so make sure that you have a journal and some pen or pencil to write with. And so when you make these statements, say them with authority, with confidence, with trust that it is so. And that is how you reprogram yourself to know that you're telling yourself that that is the case and that you will, awaken and you will remember those dreams. So you just have to keep practicing it. And then the more that you're able to journal it as well, they will just create more of this, generate and help you remember more of your dreams. And so there is, also like within the dreams, like I found that when you are waking up, like between consciousness and unconscious, so it's kind of like this borderline state. It's like you're just coming out of this, dream phase. You're kind of waking up, but you're not fully awake just yet. And then that is the space where you get the most prophetic information, of download of information, and also like visions. And I've had like many visions actually these past 2 nights where in one instance I saw Lord Ganesh appear, which is the Hindu god, or the elephant god, to say that, has the head of an elephant. He's also known for the be a remover of obstacles, but he's also a cosmic avatar too. And I'll get into another episode, talk more about the cosmic avatars with you. So he appeared to me during this, stage of this borderline stage, that he was just, communicating with me. In another instance, I saw this elk appear, like this other animal, spirit guide, and it appeared like as a vision very clearly with its antlers and everything. And so its symbolism, having to do with the ancestors and very deep wisdom. So, just sharing some of these examples, because these are, some of the key golden nuggets to like during the stages of like when we are like just waking up, and just not completely yet, into this full stage of consciousness, completely, of being awake. So it's kind of like in just between the two. And at that moment, though, you can ask any question you want. So you can also program yourself at night and say, when I'm in that stage, of in between, I want to, ask this question. And then you could get the download of information that you need at that moment, if, certain questions you may be having to ask. And so that is also how you are able to build more on your own connection to your own higher self as well, and building more of that awareness within yourself too. All right, well, this was a fun episode, and I will leave you for now. I'm sending you so much love. Bye for now. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to click like, save, and share with others so they can also experience what you just experienced. And stay tuned for some more high vibe episodes. And I'll be connecting with you in the next quantum field. Sending you so much love.